Hey everybody, this is Brett, and it is January 2nd, and this morning it was 0 degrees. Got my water dripping to prevent freezing, and I still got hot water, but my cold side froze, but I think I know how to fix that. In any case, it's warming up, and it's supposed to get to be like 30 degrees today, and that's a lot better than yesterday. And I saved one of my neighbor's dogs from freezing. I won't tell you that story, but I did. And it was a full moon last night, and all of up to the full moon was just hell for me. And every time it's a full moon, especially a full moon, it just gets me emotionally. It brings it all up to the surface in me. And yesterday, I just got thinking about my friend Ann. My friend Ann Waters was just like everything for me. She was there for me when my family back in Utah in like 2000 through 2003 and even before that, when they were just dissing me and natural healing, all of that. That's why I refer to my mother as the idiot. That's one of the reasons why. Her and my brother and my father, my alcoholic father, yada yada. At least he didn't just totally diss me during that time, but in any case, Ann was there for me. Ann at the Crystal Cocoon Healing Center and my counselor. And I didn't have any health insurance. Ann said, well, how much can you afford? $20, I can afford 20 for an hour. And Ann said, that's fine. And so I would go to Ann and tell her about my stupid alcoholic father and I don't even want to talk about them, my mother, etc. And she would tell me, you know, like, well, write a letter to them. Once she told me, write a letter to your father. And I did, and I sent it to him. I was so pissed off. I went back to her and I said, yeah, I sent it to him. And she goes, no, you weren't supposed to send it to him. You were just supposed to write it. And I was like, well, I sent it to him, and I'm glad I did. But she was just a kind soul. Everyone loved her. And she ran the Course in Miracles meeting on Wednesday night, and we would stand in a big circle with this little candle-lit thing in the middle of all of us, and it was just loving and beautiful, and she was just like everything to me. I would call her for years afterwards, and she would talk to me on the phone anytime I needed her, you know? She was like my real mom, you know? So anyways, this is what I've done. I've put up pictures of my gurus and my friends on the wall. This was Ann. She died, I believe, of leukemia 3 years ago. And I found out, I talked to her like a couple of months before she died, but she didn't say anything to me. I went back to Utah, and I had found out that just a month before, when I went over to the office, I found her office. It was still going then. And they said, oh, she died, and I was just like broken up, and I made a video back then about it. You could look it up if you want. Ann Waters, Crystal Cocoon Center. And in any case, she's like probably my favorite of all these. My new guru, Mooji. He's such a beautiful soul. Such a loving and giving person. I watch him anytime it comes up on YouTube. I send donations to Monte Sahaja in Portugal. He's so beautiful. Look at him. He's just beautiful. This is Paul Pitchford. He's the writer of Healing with Whole Foods. Probably the greatest health food description book on earth. My copy is just like thrashed from reading and looking things up. The pages are black on the outside from me and my dirty fingers. I email him once in a while. He's still going strong. He was always kind of thin and, you know, not a robust person for sure. But everyone's different, you know, and everyone has their strengths. And Paul is a mental genius, especially when it comes to yin and yang and foods and herbs. Incredible. Wayne Dyer. I've read many of his books, and he really evolved incredibly to becoming this spiritual person versus such a thinker of trying to conquer the whole being successful idea. Towards the end of his life, being successful was being connected to God. And I love this picture of him, probably at the beach off his home in Maui. God bless Wayne Dyer. This is Randy Nicola. He owns Healing Mountain Massage School in Ogden, Utah. And he's a really good person. And he really cares about what he does, and that's why he's successful there. He has 2 schools now. He has one in Cedar City and one in Salt Lake City. And he was a massage therapist and teacher at another school there in Salt Lake for a long time, and then he started his own school, and I was blessed enough to go to it. And we were friends for a long time. I don't know if he still wants to be my friend because, you know, I had my license taken away from me for bullshit reasons, but I don't know that he understands all that, but I still care for him, so that's why I put him on my wall. This is Tom Lesher, Kaipacha, and many of you may watch him every Wednesday with his astrology forecast. And right now I'm learning astrology as much as I can. I'm not very good at it yet, but I plan on being good at it. And he's just incredible. His energy is beautiful, and he really knows his stuff. Oftentimes, it astounds me. It astounds me, his readings. And I look forward to them every Wednesday. This is Bernard Jensen, Dr. Bernard Jensen. And a long time ago I read the book, The Guide to Better Bowel Care, and it turned my life around. Little did I know how much I needed to wash out my poor large intestine and small intestine. I mean, the whole thing needed to be cleaned out. And man, I don't know what I'd have done had I not started reading books on that subject. But this guy, he was one of the pioneers. The pioneers, and man, what a book. You should definitely read that, Guide to Better Bowel Care. Here's another picture of Muji that I put above my door. Someday I'm going to go to Portugal. Monte Sahaja, I believe it's pronounced, is the name of their sanctuary there. Someday I'll go. By the supplements over here, I've put a picture of Paul Bragg and Jack LaLanne. It's only appropriate that above all of this stuff, this health food and green powder and organic foods, beans and It's only appropriate that those... Mooji has taught me how to be the real me. And the real me is not so much this physical body or mind, but the spirit that resides within. And when I'm in this total state of peace and quiet, then I'm in the real state of myself. So it's only appropriate that the photo of Paul Bragg and Jack LaLanne, and probably the Juice Man, I'll have to put him up here, and maybe even the Sprout Man, Steve Meyerowitz, will be above all these supplements. I mean, it's a blank wall, you know? Let's fill it up with pictures. And so, like, there he is again. Him and Patricia. I think she's still alive. His daughter. So anyways, my thoughts are that I'm going to add a lot more photos to my walls here. And I'm going to request that some of you, some of my favorite friends there on YouTube, send me a picture of you so that I can put you on the wall, because there are some of my viewers and Facebook friends that have been truly helpful, instrumental. Maybe not to the degree of these people, but still, some of you, I would like you to be on my walls. And I would so appreciate it if you'd send me your picture. So I want to thank everybody for joining me, and you know, this is something really, really, really cool that I have done for myself, and that you could do. You know, I don't have any pictures of my family on this wall, my immediate family. These are my family members. These people are my family members. And some of you are my family members. And so you can have people, all kinds of people that are close to you, and they might be on the other side of the world. They might be your neighbor, you know, they're a good neighbor. It could be anybody. You know, if your family has betrayed you, fucked up your life, made it worse, then it, you know, maybe they were just like there to be a bad example so that you could get healthy. So that you could get stronger. Like mine. Mine were just there to make me stronger. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. So that doesn't mean, though, that you have to keep them in your life, because they're going to continue to push you down. You can just find people to lift you up. And you can put pictures of those people on your wall. And so, thanks for joining me. I hope that you're going to have a great 2018. We only have 3 more years of another person in our lives now that's setting a bad example for us for what not to do. Other than, you know, he's got some business sense, and that can be beneficial. But we'll know in 3 years never to hire a total asshole loser jerk to be our president again. Yes, we'll know for sure never to do that again. So I want to thank you for joining me. Okay, so I just added some more photos. This is a picture of the Steve Irwin, which is a Sea Shepherd ship out on the ocean. And Sea Shepherd, if you don't know who they are, they're like game wardens on the ocean. You see, there are a lot of loser people out there that want to do unethical things on the ocean as well. There are a lot of loser people everywhere that want to do all kinds of unethical, unacceptable things to our planet. But Sea Shepherd goes out and tries to protect the animals that we care about from overfishing or illegal fishing. They also have a ship called the Bob Barker. And that's because Bob donated $5 million to them, because Bob rocks too. Here's 2 more photos that I added below the Steve Irwin of Bob Barker and of Steve Irwin. Isn't that a great picture? Check him out. He was bigger than life. And Bob, oh my God. I find it personally amazing that he can be so loving towards people when he knows that it's people that are doing the damage to animals and the planet, and he cares so deeply about them. Amazing. And I donate to them, and I also donate to this charity, Performing Animal Welfare Society. Bob has also donated to them, and they're in California, not close to smog, thank God. And they housed the elephants that were in the circuses and in zoos that had shitty places for them to be kept, where they couldn't run around. And this is a lot bigger area where they can, and it's California, so the weather is decent, you know, and they can go it's kind of like dry, you know, kind of like Africa. So it's a much nicer place for the animals to be than in a small enclosure in a zoo. So please don't go to zoos. Boycott zoos. Okay? And also, I added this one. And this is Child Aid. And I've been donating to them for years now. They're a really great charity, highly rated on Charity Navigator. You can check out any charity and see how well they're rated in all different ways on Charity Navigator. But Child Aid builds schools, trains teachers, sends books to Guatemala, and it's a really poor country, and they really need the help, and they've done that for years now. And Child Aid is an awesome charity, and they're so cute. Look at that one. Very happy little girl. Cute kids. And so yeah, I'm just gonna keep putting awesome pictures up because I need to lift my spirits, and I think it's a great idea.
Choco, we're gonna go for their best walking time today of all times, honey. You wanna go with me? Do you wanna go on a wild walking time with me? Okay.